Welcome to School Desk University Advanced Text Editor. I'm Steven, your School Desk trainer. Before we begin, please let me know if you can hear my voice and see my screen by typing yes into the chat window at the bottom of the GoToMeeting window. Since we have multiple systems logging in for this session, you will be muted throughout the presentation. If you have any questions at all, please type them into the chat window. If I don't answer your question right away, I will go over them at the end of this session. I am recording this session and will be emailing a link to you so you can use it for review or share with others at your school. So today we're going to be going over the advanced features of the text editor. So these are pasting options, image map editor, wrapping text, tables, and version tracking. All editors of the site will be able to use this information. So we're going to start by logging in, by clicking login and entering your login information. And now we're going to go into edit mode. And remember, when you're editing, you should be either using Firefox or Internet Explorer as your browser, but only when editing. Chrome is fine for viewing. So to go into edit mode, let's mouse over Edit Page on your black School Desk control bar and click Stay in Edit Mode. Now mine's already checked, so I'm not going to click it, but this is how you would go into edit mode. Now that we're in edit mode, you can see the three icons next to or above each module, and the edit content in the bottom left. So I'm going to click edit content so we can see the text editor inside the module. To expand the editing window, click these two diagonal arrows at the top right corner of your module. Oops. That's weird. So when we talk about the text editor, we are referring to an area where you can enter information that has the blue ribbon toolbar at the top. That's this. This is a wonderful thing. So let's talk about pasting options. We're going to go over the best practices for pasting content from other sources, be it, another website, Microsoft Word, anything like that. So let's start as paste as plain text with, start with paste as plain text. So when pasting content from another website, you should always paste as plain text to strip out any background code from the other site that could cause conflicts on your site. So think of it this way. You would never want to copy and paste an image from another website. Rather, you should right-click on the image and save the image to your computer, then upload it to the School Desk server through the image manager in a text editor. So to paste text from another website, highlight the text you want to paste. So I just have this open because this is a good way to explain. So I'll just highlight one of these and click Control and C at the same time. This will copy it onto your clipboard. Now to paste it, you want to click your cursor on your text editor and hit Control V. But if you click HTML, you'll notice it still took a bit of code with me. So to get rid of that, we're going to click our clipboard on our blue ribbon toolbar, and select Paste Plain Text. This will open the Paste Plain Text window through which you can enter your plain text, or your copied text, Now hit Control V, and it should appear normally, but let's just click Paste just to make sure. Now it's appearing normally, but just to make sure there's no code, let's click HTML. And you'll see there is no code except for this little break space at the end. So that's fine. So now let's go back. Now that your text is copied, you can format it using the blue ribbon toolbar, so any of these options. Now let's click Save. And look, you'll see, there it is. My text, my beautiful, beautiful text, just like I always wanted. So our next option is to paste from Word. So if you want to copy text from a Word document and keep the formatting, simply, first let's click back on edit content, of course, and then expand this. Okay, now if you want to copy text from a Word document and keep the formatting, just open your document. So I already have one open here. And highlight the text and hit Control-C. So you'll see that I have purple, italics, underlined, superscript, and subscript text here. Also, it's it's got a strike through. Just because we want to use, we want to display our maximum editing prowess. So now that we have copied our text with Control-C, place the cursor into the text editor where you want to copy this, or where you would like to paste the text, and click this clipboard again, the down arrow next to the clipboard, and you'll see an option, Paste from Word. So let's click this. This will open your Paste from Word menu. And then simply click inside the box to make sure that your cursor is there, and hit Control-V to paste. And now it looks a lot like it did on my Word document, but let's just paste just to make sure. And it does. It looks almost exactly as it did on my text or my Word document. So if you use this option and you need to edit the content, it is best to go back to the original Word document to make the changes there and then replace the information on your site using the Paste from Word option. Now, our final option is to paste HTML. With this tool, you can embed any HTML code to your text editor. For example, you can embed a YouTube video. So to do this, go to, just find a video on YouTube. So let's go to youtube.com. Let's type in, let's just click trending here. Just find a random video. Now, to copy the embed code from a video, click the share button below the YouTube video, and then click the embed option. We'll see we can't embed this video, so this was sort of a bad example. Let's find a different one. All right, now click share below the video, click embed, and now you'll see this long code. So it should be highlighted for you, but if not, just highlight it and hit Control-C to copy the text. Also, to copy embed code, you can, if you have this ability, right-click the video and select Copy Embed Code. This will automatically copy it to your clipboard. Now that we have the embed code, let's go back here and click the down arrow next to your clipboard on the blue ribbon editor, on the blue ribbon toolbar, excuse me, and select Paste HTML. Now if we click Control-V on this, you will see that the code has been entered. Now if we just hit paste, you will see it did create the video from it created the video from YouTube basically. So if we hit save, let's just see how this looks. Let's let it roll back around. Now you'll see it has the video just like it would appear on YouTube. This is because it is actually playing from YouTube. We just have the embed code. So now it is embedded to our site. A good thing to note is, let's just click Edit Content here. Another way of adding HTML code to a text editor is, if you'll look just below your text editor, you'll see Design HTML Preview. Click HTML. It'll turn everything into a bunch of code, and you can just copy and paste your HTML here. So if I click Design again, you'll see there are now 2 Jimmy Kimmel videos. Pretty amazing. Let's just get rid of that. We don't want to. We don't need to. And hit save. Now let's talk about the image map editor. So the image map editor allows you to link sections of an image to different external URLs. There are two ways of mapping an image. One way is to insert the image and map out the links at the same time. The second way would be to map an image that has already been inserted. So let's start with inserting and mapping the image simultaneously. So let's just click Edit Content here. Click the diagonal arrows to expand your module. Now on your blue ribbon toolbar, look for the first information eye within the white bubble. Click the down arrow to its right and select Image Map Editor. Now on the Image Map Editor, you will see a preview. This will populate once you have selected an image. To the right, you will see Choose Image, which let's start here because we can't do anything until we have an image. So let's click the Image Manager icon, the little mountains with the sun, and let's select an image. This will bring up the Image Manager. Let's find a good image, so boop, boom. Now, that's pretty easy. You simply double-click the image, and it will put it onto your Image Map Editor. Now that we've selected the image, let's talk about what exactly we can do with the Image Map Editor. So now that we see our image in the preview column, in the second field of the right column, you can select your area shape. So since these are balloons, let's use circles instead of rectangles. Now to create this area, which will be the basically the base for your link, you just click onto the image and drag. And you can move it around by clicking it and dragging it again. And you can resize the area even by clicking this red little node here, this red square, and dragging it. So a lot of this is done through click and drag. It's pretty simple. And now if you click New Area, this will add another circle, or alternatively, just click and drag again. So let's get one of these added to each balloon. And let's talk about different options as well. So let's say each balloon links to a different, let's say a different teacher web page or something, or maybe a different subject. So to select an area, simply just click it, and you'll see that we have this one selected. Now under Define Area Properties, you will see you'll see these sort of values that say left, top, width, and height. The left and top, these just determine how many pixels away from the left and top the area is. The width and the height just determine the area size of the area. Now you'll see URL. So once we've selected an area, we can enter a URL. So let's just pretend that google.com, let's pretend that's a teacher site or something. And let's select the target as a new window. Alt text could be, let's see, science class. Now let's click on the second area we would like to link and enter the URL. This one could be yahoo.com. Let's make the target a new window because we don't want this to open in the same window that we're currently in. And let's say that this is history class, just because. And now click Update Area. I did forget to mention that. You do have to click Update. So let's go back here. Since we didn't update this area, we do have to re-enter this information. Update Area. And now for the last one, let's do Bing. And let's pretend this is, let's click New Window. Let's pretend this is math class. So Bing is math class, Google science class, Yahoo is history class. Let's click update. Now that we have our image mapped and our areas and links created, let's just click OK. Now you'll see the image has been inserted into our text editor, but just to make sure everything still works, let's click Save as well. Now you'll see, if we mouse over this image, if we mouse over a balloon, our cursor will become a hand. This means that we can click the image for something to happen. So if we click it, you'll see the green balloon takes us to Google, aka science class. The red balloon takes us to Yahoo, aka history class. And the yellow balloon takes us to Bing, aka math class. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty awesome. Now say you accidentally have too many areas that you added. You accidentally added too many. So let's just click Edit Content. Again, click these diagonal arrows. Click the image. Now click the down arrow next to your information I and select Image Map Editor. So say we have too many areas. We didn't want this yellow balloon to link to math class. We didn't even want it to link to anything. So select your area. You'll know if it's selected because the bubble will be a little bit brighter and it will have the red square next to it. So once it's selected, click Remove Area. Now that area will no longer link. So if you have too many areas, you accidentally create one, you can get rid of them that way. Now let's talk about option 2, which is mapping an already inserted image. So since I didn't already insert one here, let's just go ahead and do that through the image manager. And select our nice little balloons. And now that they're here, if you right-click on these balloons, you will see Properties and Image Map Editor. So let's click Image Map Editor. Now you will see your selected image in the preview column of the Image Map Editor window, and you would just follow the same steps as before for creating the areas and links. So just click and drag, enter HTML, google.com, update. And now let's save, make sure it works. And since I didn't set the target as a new window, I will be control clicking this to open it in a new window, just to make sure it still works. It does. It takes us to our science class. It's amazing. Now let's talk about wrapping text. So sometimes you might want to have text wrap around an image. We can do this through the properties of an image in any text editor. So let's click Edit Content below the HTML module and click the diagonal arrows to expand our module, or rather our editing screen. So it's easier to add the text first and then the image. So let's take a whole bunch of text. So let's go back to this page. Let's take a whole lot of text. Copy it. And now let's paste using plain text because we don't want strange. Okay. Not sure what just happened. Let's just close this tab for a second. Go back to our advanced text editor page. Let's try this again. So click Edit Content and the diagonal arrow. Now, again, let's paste this as plain text because we don't want to copy all of this code. And again. Okay. Okay, so let's just not mess with plain text for now. It doesn't want to be friendly. It's not cooperating. So let's just copy our text. We have this big story here. Let's see if we can get rid of some of these breaks. Just to make this a little more friendly, user-friendly. And now you see our text looks normal. Okay, so that is one way to paste plain text. All right, so first, it's easier to add the text. So now that we've copied the text, let's place our cursor at the beginning line of text. If I can figure out how. Now click the down arrow next to your information I on the blue ribbon toolbar and click Image Manager. So now just select or upload your image. I'm going to go with my favorite, the classic dog image. Now before inserting, this is very important, before inserting, click Properties. Make sure it's sized correctly. This one is a little bit big, so let's change that. And let's do 250. Now, in the top right corner of the Properties is Image Alignment. So let's click the drop-down next to the black X, and you can see our different alignment options. The lines in each option represent where the image will appear in reference to the text. So once you've selected your desired option, we'll go with this one. Once you've selected your desired option, you could add margins around the image to prevent the text from appearing right next to the image. So let's add some margins. The values are based in pixels. So let's do 12 for each, because 12 that's a good amount of pixels. That's slightly noticeable. It's pretty noticeable. And it's about the size of text on most things. Now that we have our margins added, let's click Insert, and you'll see our image has been aligned, has been wrapped in regards to the top of the text. So now it's wrapped by the top of the text, but let's go back in here and change Properties. Let's go back and change image alignment just to see what else we can do. So let's try the middle. Click OK. Now you'll see the text kind of changes. If we move it through here, you'll see that it pretty much moves the text out of the way. This is good because without image wrapping, or text wrapping rather, the image would just appear in front of or behind the text. And you'll see that it looks maybe not too pretty, but it looks better than it could. Now we're just basically, showing practicality here. We're not trying to make everything look pretty right now. So now that we've wrapped our text, let's click Save, get out of here. Wait for this to roll back around. Now let's talk about adding tables. So if you click Edit Content, and then of course the arrows to expand your window, we can now create a table by placing our cursor within the text editor and clicking the little table, the Insert Tables icon. Now tables, these are just a way to placehold space within your module, or you can also use them to organize content within a single module. So once you have clicked your Insert Table icon, you can select the number of rows and columns by hovering over these, the lit up circles, or the squares rather, excuse me, the lit up squares show how many cells each table will have. So let's do a 3 by 3 because it's a good number. You'll see the table did appear where my cursor was, but it looks kind of small. You don't need to worry about it looking small. It will appear to expand as you enter content. So let's enter content, literally. Content here, you get some content, you get some content, everybody gets their content. It's amazing. I love content. Also, a good thing to note is when inserting a table, you can also click Table Wizard to select how many columns and rows you would like. We're about to get into the Table Wizard, so now that we've inserted our table, click inside the table, which we've done, then right-click and select Table Properties at the very bottom. In the Table Properties window, there is a dimension section in the top left. Here you can set the height and width of your table. It is very important to designate the width to prevent the table from collapsing on your content. And you can either type in the exact width in pixels, or you can type in a width in percentage. Let's do 100%. So if you're wanting to do percentage, you will have to type in the number, then the percent sign behind it, whereas otherwise it will just do pixels. So if you type in 100%, this just means that the table will take up 100% of the allowed space within your module. All the room available to it. Excuse me. Below dimensions, you'll see the layout section. In the layout section, there is an alignment button. Let's click the drop down next to the black X to see the options to align your table to the left, the center, or the right of the text editor. Let's do center for now. And actually, it shouldn't matter if you have entered 100%, but it is still good to kind of keep it a habit to, align things. Also, you can add borders with the Style Builder. So let's click the 3-colored icon next to Style Builder under the Layout section. This will open your Style Builder. You'll see multiple tabs. Let's click Border on the left side so that we can add borders to our table. You will see at the top, you can see border style, border width, and border color. You can also set borders for specific sides of the cell by going through cell properties. But for now, let's just mess with the entire table's borders. So if you click border style, click any of these drop downs, you'll see you have options here. Let's click double line. And just to show what different sorts of borders we can have, let's just click different ones for each side. So this will be for the top, bottom, left, and right sides of the table. And if you wanted them to be the same for all, you can click same for all, and it will just use the top line as your border. For border width, let's do 3 and click same for all. For border color, let's do same for all because we want a little bit of unity, and click purple because that's an awesome color. Purple's great. Also, when you're selecting a color, if you click add custom color and you know the hex number to the color that you like, you can enter that hex number here. Let's not for now because I don't know any hex numbers. And click OK. Now this will take us back to this screen, the table wizard. If we click OK again, we should see the changes to our table propagate. Let's do that. Boom. Perfect. 100% of the module space taken up. You got dotted line here, double line there, or dotted line here, dash line there, and you have a solid line at the bottom. Very solid indeed. Now that we're back in the table, let's check out our cell properties. So if you right-click the table and click Cell Properties, you'll have a different window. You'll see on the preview column, you will see as many cells as your table has. Maybe not in the same size, but you will see as many cells. On the right, you're provided with editing options. So here you can add your borders and align the material in each cell. So let's select the cell we want to modify. So we already have the middle one selected. Let's click this. You can specify height and width of individual cells by typing in a number of pixels or %. You can also align the content within your cell to any corner, any side of that cell. So let's do the bottom right corner. That seems like you'd notice it pretty well. You can also add a background color to your cell. This will do exactly what it sounds like, create a background color. So let's do blue. Blue is a pretty color. And just like with tables, you can click the Style Builder to set border styles, border width, and border color for individual cells. Now this will just create the border for the cell wall. So just to get an idea, let's do same for all for the border style this time. It's a little too hectic with all the different types of lines. Let's do ridge. And for color, black. Now that we have selected our cell properties that we like or that we think may be pretty, let's click OK. And you'll see content is in the bottom right corner. There is a blue background color. And if I save, check this out. If I save, you'll see the black border here around this cell. So it's amazing. Lastly, let's go over version tracking. So if you make changes in an HTML module and like to roll it back to a previous version, version tracking can allow you to do this. So to utilize version tracking, click Edit Content below the HTML module and click the Version Tracking tab above the text editor, right here. Now you will see the last 5 versions that were saved. They are all listed, the last 5. You can see the version number here, the date that the version was created, and the user that edited the module. And you can see actions that you can perform with each version. So let's talk about the action icons. So on the far right, you will see 3 icons. You will see a trash can. This allows you to delete the version permanently, though you cannot restore the module to this version anymore. You have a magnifying glass, which shows you a preview of what the module looked like at the version selected. So let's see what that looks like. And now, let's go back to version tracking. And then you have your curved arrow. This allows you to restore the HTML module back to the previous version, or back to the selected version, rather. If you are unsure which version to restore, you can compare multiple versions by placing a check in the boxes under Compare and clicking the blue Compare button. Now you can only compare 2 versions at a time, but let's just click Compare. So at the bottom, you'll see your legend. Anything in green is inserted text or images. Anything in orange is modified text, and anything in red is deleted text. So on version 7, the current version, this is red because this image is no longer here. So let's click back to version history to select which version we would like to roll back to. I want that picture of Georgia and its districts, so we're going to click roll back to version 6. A confirm window will pop up, and let's click yes. Now click Edit Content at the top and save. And now, boom, it's back. It's high, it's back in action, it's there, it's ready. So that concludes the advanced basics of using our text editor. If there are any questions, please type them into the meeting chat window and I will be happy to answer. Thank you for attending SDU today. I will be emailing a link to the recording of this session either later today or tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that email. Have a great day and thank you for being a loyal School Desk customer.